The final month of Petovia's harvest. A blessed day to be a Findle. Our first harvest of soul drop in Reddish happens this week, and today unto this world was born a daughter to me. For generations the Findle men have been ambitious, but cursed, and I fear my life will be no different. But for the first time in my life, I found myself sitting down to say a prayer. To whom, I do not know. Whatever God wishes to hear the pleas of a man who will only speak to them once. I prayed that my daughter be freed from the Findle curse that has loomed over our family like an atrocious gargoyle for centuries. Within her tiny hand lay only a finger of mine. Fragile, beautiful, and reserved. She's going to be a splendid killer. These insects that parade themselves around as Vals tear away at my nerves, day in and day out. They fancy themselves individuals of power and integrity. However, they are no different than I. Well, apart from that jabbering whelp, Rizzy, I despise him more than all. Despite his parents being murdered, this child still has a light in his eyes. A never-fading optimism that's sickening. Shit stain of an orphan will see that one day, that attitude will amount to nothing. Dearest Alice, may you grow with every bit of hatred and ambition as your father. Do what your old man could never do, and take your inheritance, the soul drop, and live a happy life. Most parents can show love and affection. I will give unto you the world. The Petovian New Order grows stronger by the day. This too shall be yours. I can't apologize for how I will treat you and punish you in the future. Your growth is dependent on it. Just know that all I do for you. I love you. And I always will. I hope this letter finds you someday.
Gentlemen. My name is Keen Decker, and I'm here to invite you to an evening not like most others. An evening where 4 streamers are pitted up against one another in hopes for fame and fortune. Will one streamer rise to the top and unlock fortunes like no other? Or will they all fall victim to the horrors of Marth's dungeon?
Woo-wee! Welcome back to Marth's Dungeon, the Southern Edition.
That's what we're going with, okay.
That's where we're going. Yeehaw!
The version with Pivot.
Oh, yeah! The version with Pivot what?
Put on the cloak.
Oh, no! He did not put on the cloak. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Marth's Dungeon, episode 28 here. We last left off with a pretty exciting, like, full just kind of fighting episode. Last episode, we had it in a couple of different forms here. There was first the Val Timpino, Val Perot fight, in which the party handed them, you know, pretty well. Thames literally threw Val Perot directly, Val Timpino directly into Val Perot, knocked him out of the sky, and it was kind of over from there. However, after a little while, Gortez made his way down from a massive burning building, and after many of an explosion inside the city streets due to terrorism attacks, Gortez made his way over to his daughter, in which he confronted her, but Alice did not did not give him an answer as to his questions as to why Marth Silmance was in this city, as to why Pivid was not dead, as to why Look Down wasn't, or Stephanie, who was a kind of a friend / junkie from her past. And ultimately, in the end, the party had to fight Gortez, who kind of sold his soul to the named god of chaos. And it stuck Thames and Alice in a really, really bad situation. They were stuck inside a kind of massive shielded dome in which it got opened up by Thames making a plea to Forfo Den, which he accepted, and a massive hammer from the heavens came down, and this became kind of a more fair fight. But yeah, Marth ended up going down. There was quite a lot in between. We even had to bust out the Civilonian, and you all kind of... We'll start right from where we left off. Would anybody like to do anything?
Rest in peace, Bordeaux. I'm killing him.
Thames kind of turns around and hulks over the already kind of giant hulking Bordeaux, who now looks kind of sweetly asleep at the moment. The kind of wasting effects have not started to take effect on his body, and you're gonna bill hook him to death.
No, I'm gonna be less cruel about that because I imagine his skin composition would make that hard to do.
For sure.
I'm going to use a hammer instead.
All right, perfect. Yeah, Selenians being made out of very, very rocky-like material makes it very easy for your hammer to just bash him kind of over and over. And would anybody else like to... Maxwell's is just going to kind of like take a walk over to the side and start to feel his hair. He's going to just like rub his head where he noticed some like bald spots are forming from the acid kind of burning off pieces of his hair. He just kind of like...
Is Marth still down?
Marth is up.
Get him?
Yeah, you got him up.
Pivot's gonna walk over to him and like start pulling him backwards away from Look Down. Because he is currently on the floor.
And you start kind of like pulling Marth away, and he's like, what's wrong?
His pet isn't exactly trained yet.
And
If you would.
he looks over to the Civilonian, who is kind of just like frantically looking around. It sees Thames kind of just smashing a hammer into a creature, and it starts to like crawl around the side here, like on kind of 4 legs in like a very liquid form, and it comes right over here and sees you start to smash Bordeaux.
I'm covering my eyes the second I see that
It just keeps pulling him away.
I've gotten the old eye bleed once, and I'm not getting another one.
Maxwell sees the Civilonian. He's like, "Oh shit!" And he
Everyone,
just, like,
close your
turns
eyes. Back away from Look Down.
Maxwell huddles himself next to the house here and like curls himself up and closes his eyes.
Upon hearing Pivot say that, I'll just walk backwards. I imagine probably hit the fence, turn a little, and then keep walking backwards.
Yeah, just like bump into the fence, and then you just continue to kind of like walk backwards here along this side. And it starts to kind of, it starts to approach you. You just kind of like, as you have your eyes closed, you hear it like approach you kind of further and further as you're getting kind of closer to Look Down.
Yeah, I'm trying to like go past Look Down.
Right as you are about to reach Look Down here, you have your eyes closed, you're walking backwards.
Do I regain consciousness yet?
I would say by right about now you would regain your conscious as Thames is kind of walking back to you here.
Then as he slowly opens his eyes, he just kind of stays laying there and just looks at the Civilonian.
And the Civilonian kind of is sizing Thames up. You can kind of see him crawling just around Thames as he's backing up closer and closer to you. You can kind of tell that it's probably making it uncomfortable.
Look down. We'll just slowly kind of sit up and put a hand on Thames and just say, "It okay."
I would say with this going on, Tim's getting touched by Look Down would probably startle him a little. But otherwise, like not in a jumpy way, but just like a, what the fuck's touching me?
And then Look Down will lift up the eye patch.
And as you lift up the eye patch, it kind of circles around Thames once more. Are you still moving backwards, Thames?
Once I hear Look Down, say friend, after being touched, then Tim's will just stop.
Oh, okay, perfect. So you stop kind of dead, and it kind of just walks around you and inspects you and makes sure that you're not moving anymore, and then looks right over to Look Down's eye and jumps right inside of it.
Crisis averted.
So that is why you needed the eye patch.
Yes.
Fair enough. And then he'll go start looting stuff.
Just looting corpses. Are you looting everybody's
good,
corpse?
Max.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Oh, good.
And he turns around and he sees Alice. He's like, not good.
Tim's will look over at Alice before going to Valfendel and say, I know that he just tried to kill us, but do you mind if I take some things off your father's body?
Alice is gonna walk over and say, well, that's what I was going to do. After I kicked him, though.
Okay. Well, I'll move out the other way then.
You move up and you're kicking Gortez.
Yeah, I kick him once, square in his ear. And then I start looting, just feeling around, seeing what's in his pockets.
Perfect. And Marth kind of like turns to you, Piv, and he's like, happy family reunion, I guess.
Look Down will slowly get up and start going towards where the massive thugs were.
Massive what were?
The massive thugs.
Okay, yep. Which I think
It's
was...
like right over to the left. It was like a fucking corpse pile right next to us. It
Yeah, it was over around here.
was like just under that yellow square.
I'll go, if Alice is covering Valfendel, then I'll go loot the other Vals, and the ones in the street.
You kind of, after a long day of fighting, just go through the gate here and continue walking and start kind of looting the Vals.
Yeah, so still under the effect of the Bilm's arcane serum, I'm just gonna repeatedly cast Heal the Fox at level 1 until each person is at full, pretty much.
Let's go, MVP!
As I walk over, though, I'll remember, oh fuck, I don't need to leave that there. I'm gonna go pick up Kiatiga's edge.
Oh yeah, you dropped it like in and around over here.
Yeah, it's like, that should not be on the floor, and walk back.
Fucking Look Down, steps on it, fucking dies.
And Look Down, you come across the corpses on the ground, and are you looking for anything in particular?
I grab the sword.
Perfect. And as you kind of grab onto the sword, it kind of just rests in your hand, and you feel very much so at ease. It feels very just natural in your palms. And almost to the effect of like what your ice dragon fang had been kind of feeling up until now, but for some reason the ice dragon fang feels a little stranger than usual. Best comparison I can give it to is when you haven't played League of Legends in a week. And then you hop back on League of Legends and things feel a little bit off, you know what I mean? Mechanics just aren't there. And Serviad Daniels comes around to the side of you and places his hand on your shoulder and looks at the sword. This sword is ingrained into it is a couple of it's actually just a word. And Serviad kind of just looks it over and says, conflict. It looks like a pretty well-used sword.
Look down will just slowly start to bring it to where he found the blacksmith.
You start heading it towards the blacksmith, probably down this way.
Where are you going, Look down?
This belong to someone.
Do you think you'll need help finding them? Or he finishes healing Marth to full.
No.
Alright.
Thank you.
If you see anyone injured, come back and let me know. I can help them.
Then, yes.
Alright. Excuse me, Marth.
Of course. He steps back.
No, just open the gate and step through.
Conveniently, he actually does need some healing.
He should need some help. You head down this way, and you kind of start to walk towards the Patovian New Order, and they just kind of like pretend like they're not seeing you. Kind of walk towards them, meet your eye a little bit, and then start walking in the opposite direction, into the city itself.
Can't imagine why.
You reach the blacksmith here, and it seems that he has been bleeding for quite a long time, missing one of his limbs. You can see that he's not moving.
Pivot's gonna step around, look down, and just inspect the blacksmith.
And just give me nature.
Yep. Oh god. That's not a good roll. That's a 6.
You kind of give it. I mean, you can tell that he's been bleeding for quite a while, and it's one of those
Face value,
situations.
he's pretty.
Yeah. He seems very, very dead. So you kind of just give him like a prod, and he doesn't move. Kind of signifying that yeah, there's no way that this man is alive.
Oh. He's dead.
Look down, just kind of kneels before him. Want to give back and then we'll look at the blade, stand up, swing it a little bit, and then we'll keep
What was the name of the man? Why am I forgetting it
Uh,
now? The sender we picked up.
Oh, Abraham Drew.
Abraham Drew. Perhaps we can bring the sender over here. I believe his name is Abraham.
Oh,
Try to speak with him. Maybe.
can speak with dead.
Senders are a particular kind of mage or a cleric in a way. They deal with the souls of the dead. At the sending towers, they use their powers to send on souls lost. So,
Oh.
speaking with a lost soul would certainly be within a full-fledged sender's power. I'm not sure of Abraham. He said he was still within training, so...
Okay.
Would you want to do that?
Look down, looks at Pivot, and just... Yes.
Alright. Bring him back when we can. For now, I should probably go through the city and see who needs my help. See if I can't enlist the new order, help me.
We're currently just like walking, just kind of tiptoeing together.
Pivot just starts walking in their direction.
Get over here! You gotta track them down.
Look down, we'll join Pivot.
Perfect.
Get over here! I need your help saving the people.
Walk faster, formation! March! March! Yeah, after a while of kind of looting bodies, I will give you the kind of loot in general of what you get. I have a document of everything that you would have. After a little bit, none other than Val Rizzi walks out from the Hungry Herbetian. He kind of runs over and sees that there was just a massive fight that kind of went down, including a very gigantic monstrous creature and one other thing that he doesn't kind of know what it is. And so he kind of runs in and sees you hovering over and kind of looting the body of Gortez. And he kind of like hops up to the fence here and grabs a hold of it and just kind of like looks. And I'm going to see if he actually recognizes. I mean, he still looks like Gortez, but he do be kind of monstrous looking. He does. Good.
Hey, Findle, what the hell happened?
Alice is kind of like messing around with like any pockets she sees still. Kind of like turning him and then without even looking at Rizzy still just says, you know, just what was probably due to happen.
How are you feeling?
Alice is gonna kind of stop for a second and then look at Rizzy and say, well, my only regret is that I didn't do it myself.
Relatable, I guess.
And he kind of just looks over to, like, Thames, who's looting the Valtimpino, Valpero, sees that they're both dead.
I guess that makes you Val.
Yippee.
It's just the two of us now. There's a lot to do around the city. Well, your father was, for what it's worth, the most despicable man I've ever seen, laid eyes on or talked to. I hated him with every fabric of my being. At the end of the day, he was your father, and I'm sorry.
At the end of the day, he was a monster. And then she's gonna look down at her dad and say, and there can only be one.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go help out with the community. See if anybody needs any, assistance. There's a lot of hurt people out there.
Alice is gonna stand up and kind of like stretch a little, because I was picturing her like crouched down, kind of going over him.
Yeah.
So she's just gonna like stand up and stretch a little and look at him, look at her dad one last time, and then look back at Rizzy and say, I guess I kind of have to go with you too now, huh?
Will you be staying here?
She's gonna like step over the body, just kind of shrug, and then walk past him a little.
Right. Well, no time like the present then. Let's go, Valfendel.
And you head off into town. Oh.
Whenever I'm like done looting, I'm gonna kind of stand up and then shout over to Marth and say, "We have a problem."
Being what? And he kind of pushes through the gate here, and joins over too.
I'm just gonna take off the helmet and say, "I do not own my soul anymore."
What exactly do you mean by that?
You saw the hammer? It's pretty hard to miss.
Yeah.
I sold my soul to my god.
And he like kind of like he kind of like does like one of those like neck twists where he's like, you know, that's not so bad. For Foden, he's well, let's say one of the good ones.
Right, I would normally agree, but I find myself conflicted.
Where's that?
I like Foden. I trust him. Hell, I even worship him. I hate the thought of anyone else owning my soul. I hate that I had to do that.
Yeah. Had you not, though, I fear that things would have been very difficult.
I suppose at least there's a guarantee that whenever I die in a few years, that I'm not going to whatever hellish afterlife awaits me, or would have awaited me. Probably end up on some fucking weapon rack somewhere, and I'll kick the corpse.
I have to wonder how he feels about this situation.
I have to wonder that too. Fortunately, as great as he is, he's also extremely clammy.
Well, do keep me updated. Let me know if things take a bad turn.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Tim's, like, one of the first times on his look at his face, Tim's almost looks like he wants to cry.
Oh. And Marth kind of sees that, and he gives you the very, oh man, let's see. It's that, that, like, kind of old man who doesn't really know how to, comfort another old man type of look.
Don't do that. If anyone needs comforting, it's Maxwell. He's going to look like a cleric on Soul Drop for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he's still, not gotten over it. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Please, please grow back. And he's just like, he finds a couple of like patches of hair in the grass and he's like on his hands and knees and trying to tap it back on his head.
Poor guy.
If you need me to stick around and help, I can. Otherwise, I'm going back to the castle once everything's picked clean.
Yeah, get some rest. I'll just need to ask Alice before we head out what her decision is. I figured I'd wait a bit, but I didn't expect that. He looks over to Cortez's dead body.
No, I must say that our group of people is truly a gift that keeps on giving.
And giving, and giving, and giving.
And taking, and taking, and taking.
I'll see you back at the Castle Thames. We'll all get some sleep and regroup in the morning.
Something tells me I'll be saying bye to this, and he'll look over at Kiatica's edge.
And Marth kind of like grits his teeth, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know about that."
What's a soul price for it? You know, well, look down, had to bleed for it, and then he walks back.
Starts walking away.
Look down doesn't know why, but he looks down.
He feels
Stop
something.
doing that.
Looks
Put
down.
your hand up.
Sorry.
And Marth kind of like walks over to Maxwell, avoiding these spikes here, and he like just walks up to him and he's like, "It's okay, buddy. Like if I ever cut my hair, I'll give you some of mine." "Oh, that doesn't make me feel any better." And he just kind of like pans away. And
Also-
let's see. Yeah, go ahead.
So I know Pivot said that he was healing everybody. Is all of us at full HP now, or?
Yes. Yeah, everybody is at full HP now.
That's
Yeah,
good.
he went around just spam healing because he's on Bilm's arcane serum and can just flow magic like a fucking madman.
I was just making sure we spent enough time to be able to.
Get over here! I need your help to save the people.
Yeah, you kind of you track down the Patovian New Order here, and they look very confused as you kind of approach them. Yes, what can we do for you?
Where is your officer?
And you see her kind of like, after getting pulse blasted away, she kind of runs across the field with the NPC run, and makes her way over to you.
Ah, excellent. I was hoping you and yours could help me trawl the city for any wounded. I want to... any that I am not there to tend to should be brought to the hospital.
Yes, we have quite a few reports of injuries, severe injuries, around the city. However, it seemed that most people stayed at home, locked their doors, which is fortunate. We'll send out some of our soldiers with you to scout down and find the people that are in need.
That'd be much appreciated.
Do be careful though. And she like looks back over the mines. Just watch your step.
Right. All right. Better get to it.
And you start to head out into the city. It seems that the majority of the action as you kind of head in. Wasn't really kind of like in the commercial district over this way. It was much more so in the very, very wealthy area. It seems like there was a lot of kind of casualties of people who had gone out at night thinking that the mob attacks had ended. And let's see. Give me a nature check and give me an arcane check.
Alright. Okay. Nature is a 14.
Okay.
Let's see, arcane. That is also a 14, but a much lower roll.
And that's a-okay. I mean, you having enlisted the service of these men and look down alongside you to get these people to the hospital in kind of a timely manner saved a lot of lives. You yourself have been kind of healing people like crazy. And it seems like the majority of the people that you have come across who weren't completely helpless cases to begin with 100% are going to make a recovery.
Hell yeah.
Was there any place in particular also? It seems like a lot of casualties were kind of... the only one place you kind of haven't checked was the Soul Drop Den. I don't know if you wanted to check there at all.
I mean, if there weren't really any casualties, like, right in front of it, I doubt he would check it.
Okay, perfect.
He doesn't know the city. He doesn't know anything about anything here.
True, very true.
So to him, it's just another building.
But congratulations, yeah, you saved, I'm going to say probably in and around the ballpark of like 85% of the people that you came across, which is pretty big.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to...
You did it.
I'm going to take all these and get rid of these poor ladies.
Well, we don't talk about them. We don't talk about them.
So after a while of kind of helping people and checking in, doing some house calls, Alice... Troxy spots you and kind of tracks you down here and says,
Miss Vindle, we've helped as many people in the city as possible. With your support team, it seems that we've been able to save many, many lives.
Alice is like nodding, just nodding her head.
Tomorrow we'll be working to secure the wall once more. And, well, I suppose...
And she kind of steps forward and says,
It's a blessing to have you as our new Val, Miss Vindle. May Reddish flourish under your leadership.
Alice is still just kind of standing there. Just nodding, just going like, yep. Uh-huh. Yep.
And she kind of like starts to back away and says, well, if there's nothing else, I will leave you to it.
Nope, there's nothing else. Good job.
And she salutes and turns around, and you can see her kind of walking away. She seems like a load has just been taken off of her back. Yeet.
Well, I guess that's all for the day. Yeah. I guess there's not much to say. Tomorrow is, just another busy day.
Just another busy day is kind of a lighthearted way to say that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And he kind of just looks around and he says,
You know, I'm pretty, I haven't had a smoke in a couple of days, and I'm feeling a bit dry. You want to get a drink?
Sure. Since everything else seems fine.
And as you're kind of like saying this, Marth kind of just approaches you, Alice, and
Alice starts walking away as soon as she senses.
No, 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 no.
Marth kind of just you start kind of just walking away.
Just walking.
And Valrizzi like doesn't take the cue that you're walking that fast. And he's like, whoa, 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 chill, chill, chill. What's wrong? And Marth kind of just like waves you down. He's like, Alice.
Alice kind of like does the thing where like the head falls on the shoulders. And then she turns around and she's all like, Marth, we're gonna go get a drink. You know, it's been a big day. You know, I'm a Val now. Yippee. Do you want to join us?
No drinks for me. I just wanted to, relay to you that we're all going to be heading back to the castle soon. There's no rush on making your decision tonight. Take some time to think it over. We'll talk things over tomorrow.
Okay, all right. And then she's turning around and just walking.
And he starts to walk, and Marth says, and for what it's worth, I hold nothing against you for your father or grandfather's actions. And he turns.
Alice is kind of like thinking to herself, where she's like, what? Why would you even say that? I didn't even know of that. What does this guy think he is? Jeez.
Marth turns and just stands
there. You know what? Come to think of it, I want to join you for a drink. No, he starts to walk away. And Valrizzi kind of like catches up to you, and he's like,
you know, I'm a bit lost on the situation. You wanna fill me in?
She's just gonna say, I'm gonna be honest, something about things happening and people hurt or something. I wasn't listening. So very honestly, I was not listening. There was a lot running through my head. I don't need people's backstories.
And like Valrizzi kind of just like runs his fingers over his forehead. He's just kind of thinking to himself. He's like, "Oh my God, she's so insufferable." He's like,
you know what? Okay, let's go get ourselves some drinks. But you know, don't get too frisky, okay?
I was just gonna stare at him, like side eye.
And he's just like, yeah, let's head to my favorite ristorante.
And you head over to the Risto. And after a while, Marth and Maxwell here. Tim's is back at the castle. Marth and Maxwell regroup with you and pivot here. Mr. Lookdown. And Martha kind of just looks to you and says, thank you for all your help. I'm sure Alice was very thankful.
Oh, I wouldn't know about that, but I'm glad to at least give some help. How long has it been since we entered the city, would you say?
Oh man, it's gotta be, I would say maybe 2 to 3 hours you've been here. There's been a lot of fighting, and yeah.
Still going strong in the serum, though. I'm going to crash so hard in 8 hours. But for now, I'm going strong, so... Are you two heading back to the castle?
Yeah, I think me and Maxwell are heading back. Are Or at least, if there's anything else. Is there anything else around here that we need help with? Alice wasn't too particular.
I think everyone that can be helped has been helped. I think these fine gentlemen here. Yeah. Me and look down, get a few more things to do in the city, and then we'll join you back in the castle.
Sounds like a plan. We'll see you later.
See you, Prince. Pivot gives like Max a heal, so like tries to restore some of his hair.
Some of his hair. It seems. Let's see. Oh man, you know what?
At least the damage is gone. The hair won't be back.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. The damage is kind of all healed up. Max just has a couple of blotches of missing hair now.
It'll grow back. It'll grow back.
How am I gonna find myself a good mechalite woman now? No.
All right. Do you want to go and get Alexander? I think everything that can be done has been done.
Yes.
All right. I'll go get him. Come along!
No. You two heading back to the castle as well. Okay, open map into moving castle.
All's well that ends well.
Oh God.
Of course, everything ends well whenever we do anything. Clearly, can't you tell from our immense track record?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, honestly, I think that's a good word for it. You two show back up at the castle here. Thames, you've been here for a little bit. What were you kind of doing?
Thames is like repairing his armor, but to the point where like he could have had it repaired like 10-20 minutes ago, but it's kind of just sitting there keeping his hands busy.
Yeah. And so you're kind of just repairing stuff for now as you two kind of walk into the castle. Maxwell is in his room here. Let's see, where's Mr. Max?
Tony's got a mirror too, so I get to stare at his missing hair.
Yeah, Max is kind of just sitting on this, just like looking in the mirror at himself. He kind of like pats his head and like sees that like all the missing spots. And then he like lifts up his shirt to see that he's like a little bit lighter, and he's like, it'll even out. You both enter the castle here, and it is it's relatively silent now.
I believe Pivot saw them in the hallway before, so he's gonna head down that way.
Perfect. You head downstairs here.
They're still talking.
They are actually, they've moved into here by now, and Abraham Drew's kind of just like in the corner as Agatha is just kind of like playing with like little pebbles on the ground. And
He's gonna give a quick knock on the door and step in.
You knock on the door, and Agatha doesn't really pay any mind to it. She just kind of keeps playing, but Abraham, like, Drew just kind of, like, looks at her, sees that she's not responding, and then he gets up and walks over to the door, opens it up, and says, "Oh, hello!"
Hello, Abraham. I was hoping if I could have your help for something.
Oh, well, surely, yes, of course. What is it that you need?
I'm not sure how far along in your training you are. Are you capable of speaking
Am I capable?
Are you capable of speaking to a lost soul?
Oh, of course, yes.
Because there's one that we need to speak to for a look down here.
I look down.
In the city. Stop that. There's one who fell within the city that we need to speak to. If you would be willing to assist us.
Oh, surely, surely. And he kind of starts to make his way towards the hall here.
Yeah, pivot a little bit out.
And as he kind of
It's kind of like very studiously avoiding his eyes.
perfect. You kind of walk backwards, avoiding his gaze, and you kind of gestured to look down. He turns and looks over to look down, and I'm gonna roll a d20.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's gotta be some kind of torture method. Just make it see you look down his eyes.
Abraham Drew walks into the hallway here, looks over to look down, and kind of looks him directly in the eye. And he does so for about kind of an elongated period of time, like maybe 20 seconds. He kind of intently stares at you, look down.
I just stand there.
And after the 20 seconds, he kind of does like a wide-eyed expression and then blinks his eyes and turns and he says, "Oh, well, very well. Perhaps we should head out now."
Right. It's a bit of a walk from here to the city. I hope that's not a problem.
Oh, worry not. I've been resting my legs all night.
All right, excellent. I hope Agatha wasn't too terrible a company as he's closing the door and walking along.
Oh, no. Agatha is a sweetheart. I really do quite enjoy her. Yes, we had long conversations. She introduced me to all of her siblings. Some of them were a little touchy-feely, and I did not care for that. But
yes, well, when we first encountered them, one of them was strangling their sibling to death, so that was interesting.
He stops and he says, "You don't say."
Were they still trying to?
Oh, no, I thought they were doing that to me.
Oh, well, probably. Lutherans, yeah.
And you head out into the city. Copy these bad boys. Open map. Open reddish. Open sesame. Ba-da-boom. Boom.
I just enjoy the idea that he was like, yeah, anything that will take my mind off of what I just heard or what I just witnessed. Yeah, it's fine.
It was awful in here. I did not enjoy it in the slightest. Did the map completely black out? Huh. That's odd.
Your reddish has been consumed by the void.
I guess so. I mean, I was here like 10 seconds ago and like there was no fog, but now, yeah, it's still loading in, so I'll just take a second. Chat.
Reddish is on its sad boy arc. It's gonna change its profile picture to Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul.
While we're waiting, what time of day do you think it is? It seemed like it was mostly night, yeah?
Yeah, it was nighttime. I would say about now it's getting to later parts of the night. It's probably about like 12.
Gotcha. Oh, he's gonna crash at 8 a.m. Oh, awful.
It's you make your way back into the city here and track down Ye Blacksmith.
The old blacksmith. The boy. Dead boy, but the boy.
No, I'm not fully clear on the details. Look down. This man asked you to retrieve a blade for him, yes?
I hold up the sword. Yes.
Ah, yes. Well, it seems that he is still around here. I feel his presence. Let me see if I can make a communication with him.
And he kind of kneels in the blood of the dead body and kind of places his hand to the ground and closes his eyes. And as he does that, a kind of almost invisible force, like a wind, starts kind of blowing through his hood and his clothes, as a strange kind of beautiful aura starts emanating from his body. And you can kind of just see him turning his head with his eyes closed around. And he says,
Yes, he is still here.
Is he willing to speak?
Yes, is there anything that you wish to tell him?
And Pivot's gonna look down.
1, 2, give back.
and he nods and kind of keeps his head to the ground, and
Translate.
yeah, he kind of keeps silent, doesn't really say anything, and then he says,
Yes, well, it seems that he is regretful that he died. I feel sadness. However, he does wish for you to hold on to the weapon. It's been in his family for generations. He wishes for someone to make use of it. Perhaps even make it into what it formerly was.
What?
you say what? Sorry.
Yeah.
And he kind of opens his eyes, and his robes just fall right back onto his body as he kind of walks over to you, and he kind of averts making eye contact with you and says,
He wishes for you to hold on to the weapon. He must now make the journey into the afterlife. I will guide his soul there. When we make it to the sending tower, I will send him on.
Much appreciated, my friend.
Oh, yes, of course.
Look down, looks at the sword, and then looks at the blacksmith and just says, "Thank you." Sighs. Sorry. And then tries to find a way to put the to like sheath the sword, but since he doesn't have anything on him, he probably puts it somewhere dangerous, like just like down his pants or something.
Hey, don't do that.
you just like walk past, and you're like, whoa.
We can just bring it back to Thames, and he can get it fixed up and ready for use, and he can probably fashion a sheath or something for you.
Okay. And then he'll pass off the sword to Pivot and
Okay.
pick up the blacksmith.
You say pick up the blacksmith?
Yep.
Perfect. You pick up the blacksmith, and are you heading anywhere in particular with him?
Well, there was one place that I was told that I could bury a body, so I'm gonna go head that way.
You were, if I remember correctly, so there was the church, and then you left the other one at the casino, I think. Like,
Well, because there was the body in front of the mansion, and I went to go bury it to the south, and I was yelled at to go bury it somewhere else, which was
right,
the church.
right,
So I'm
and then
gonna
board
bring
it.
the
Yeah,
body to-
okay.
Yep. So,
You kind of start dragging the body to the church, and you
that's it. I'm a strong boy.
are you being
I
kind
got-
of observant about your surroundings, Look down, while you're doing this?
Maybe passively.
Give me an observation check.
2 things for
Mhm.
for Pivot. Pivot's gonna say to Abraham, "You're welcome to return the castle. I think that's everything we'll need from you."
And he doesn't kind of, he's kind of just turned slightly away from you at the moment you say this to him. You can feel him kind of setting his gaze over in Lookdown's direction.
Is something the matter?
No. What was it? Sorry? Old age, I tend to fall asleep sometimes standing up.
Oh. Well, I don't think there's anything else we'll need you for the moment. So unless you wish to remain in the city and speak to lost souls, you can return to the castle.
And he kind of just like looks outward into the city, and once again kind of just closes his eyes, and he says,
Yes, there is much pain here. Like pitter-patters on cement. Their screams are soft and silent, but at the same time deafening. Many died here today, but I fear that many in the city have gone through worse than that.
and he opens his eyes again.
Yes, I believe I will return to the castle for now. Thank you for taking me out for a walk. It was good to get some exercise in these old legs.
Enjoy your night as much as you can.
You as well.
And he makes his way back to the castle.
Now, Pivot's gonna follow, look down, and actively looking for landmines.
Perfect.
He's not an idiot.
You kind of continue walking throughout the city. Give me an observation check.
Also, I roll a 14 on mine.
Oh my god. Observation, that's a 24.
Holy
Perfect.
shit.
So passively for your observation, look down before Abraham Drew headed out. You could definitely feel him just kind of watching you. And Pivot, as you're kind of heading through the city here, where's our church? Our church is actually all the way back here. Are you going to follow him just kind of directly to the church?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. You notice that there are no landmines along the way.
Excellent. You said the sense not to fucking terrorize the church.
And look down, you drag the body, I'm assuming, kind of into the church.
Oh no, I'm just gonna go find a plot.
Okay, perfect. You go to kind of just find an empty plot on the ground close by to the church here. And it seems that there are quite a few kind of plaques and gravestones scattered throughout the entirety. But there are definitely some areas where you see that they're completely free spaces.
I go to one of those free spaces, I gently put the body down, and I start digging with my hands.
Okay. So, first of all, he's gonna walk over. Pivot's gonna walk over to look down. It's like, do you know the man's name or his occupation?
Said was blacksmith.
Let's see what I can do with that. Pivot's gonna head into the church.
You head into the church, and you can see that nobody is actually. Normally, there's people at kind of every interval of the night inside Reddish, but it seems that the father of the church has kind of just probably went home. It seems that the place is empty.
So he's gonna kind of find the back kind of study area where the father would normally take notes and such. He'll get a quill and some ink and just kind of note down, like, as best as Pivot knows, like, the man was the blacksmith of the town, and he died at X time and was buried in this certain plot next to the church. Please find his full name and occupation for his family.
Oh, perfect.
And just leave that note for the father. And then he's gonna go find a shovel.
And yeah, as you kind of make your way into like the supply area, there seems to be like a lot of kind of cleaning products, and such. But you do find that there are some like gardening supplies, and you do find eventually a shovel.
Look down. Do you know how to use a shovel?
Maybe.
I've dug a lot of graves in my life, so I'll be able to show you. Pivot's gonna show up how to use the damn shovel.
Oh.
Yeah, you stick the shovel right into the ground and kind of like step into it and start to unravel the earth under you.
Generally, it's better to use the shovel than your hands. Less risk of damage.
Oh. Can use.
Can use.
And, yeah. I can use the shovel. Look, this isn't a complex thing.
No. I mean, there's a certain way to do it, but
Yeah.
it'll hand it over.
You think it's
Well,
not
then we'll take
complex
it and just
until
start
you hand it to somebody that has never used one before, usually young people, and you realize, man, this actually is complicated.
And you kind of follow Pivot's instruction and start to dig at a pretty fast pace. It takes you a while to kind of dig down deep enough to get his body in, but after a while, you do open a little plot, just big enough to kind of put his body in, as he's a relatively big man, and you drop
I will
him
say,
in.
while Look Down is digging the hole, Pivot's just kind of trying to clean the body up as best he can.
Oh, perfect. And yeah, probably entails just maybe just like bandaging his missing limb just ever so slightly, making him look a bit cleaner, less dirtier, and toss him in.
Kind of roll him with your foot, just kick him right in there.
Oh no!
Absolutely respectful of the dead,
Yeah, of course.
Pivot putting all the effort in, and Look Down. I'll just kick him in there.
Yeah, I don't care. This is way easier. I don't know what you're doing. No. Look Down will slide his body.
Perfect. And anything else? What would you like to do after?
I mean, I'll put the dirt back on, but after kind of standing there in silence for a little bit, wow. Look Down looks at Pivot and says, "Thank you."
Of course. Pivot's gonna kind of stand up, dust his knees off, and just murmur a quick prayer to the Fell Angel and Goblinoid.
Oh, perfect.
And then in common, he's gonna say a prayer to the Creator.
What is that?
It's a prayer of sorts to help. It's to hope that the soul of the departed will find their way to the afterlife and be safe and happy, and that their family and those they left behind will be content without them.
You just see Look Down pretend like he caught all of that.
It's primarily related around gods and spiritualism. It's just hope that things get better.
Gods?
Oh no, the neurons all fire. Brain blast!
Do you not know what the gods are?
No.
Oh.
Only
This is a Church of the Creator, right?
Yes.
castle.
Right. Well, this church here, and these kind of gestures at the one next to him, is a church dedicated to the Creator. Kind of, well, true to his name. God damn it. He's the creator of all life on Nicomentia and kind of the chief god among the Pantheon. There's quite the list otherwise. I don't really want to get into all of them, but generally everyone will revere the Creator, so any prayers you say in their name will likely be respected.
Will teach me.
If you would like to learn, of course. There's a lot you've missed over time.
Want to read.
Yes, I can certainly teach you how to read as well. I've been teaching Penelope off and on. Do you know how to read? Like, how much do you know of reading, I should say?
Look down, just gives
Probably
you a
not
blank
much.
stare.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, start with the basics then.
Oh! Actually, look down, thinks for a second, and then lifts up his shirt.
Whoa. What are you doing here?
Showing the glizzy.
Yeah, right.
Glizzy.
And then points to his chest and says, Valid.
Valen? Looking at his chest, what do I see?
You see nothing on his chest. Yeah. Just as you kind of look at his chest, it seems like there isn't really much there. It seems he's pointing at nothing.
There's nothing there. Look down.
I look down.
Stop that.
I mean, it kind of works. It kind of works because he's also going to try and look at his chest. Sometimes is
Are there particular situations that come to mind when it does appear out there?
he puts his shirt back down. Marth knows.
Marth knows. Marth spoke to me before in Hellspring about the word Valen, I believe. He did say it would be written across the chest, did he not? Have you already spoken to him about it?
Yes.
What did he have to say about it? If you can remember.
Holy shit, Josh actually can't remember. This feels so bad. That was so long ago.
It was a good
That's what
while
notes are
ago.
for.
You kind of spoke with Marth, and he seemed kind of just incredibly surprised. Didn't really ask you too much, but I do believe that he asked you how you got that and what it means to you. And then went further on to explain kind of who Valen is to him.
No, it's like he said he was a good man, right? I
Yep.
remember that.
Yep.
But didn't I also find out that's the person in my locket who looks like
Yes. Yeah,
Marth's dad?
you also did find out that Valand was indeed the person in your locket. And I do have to say that as you kind of look down at your chest, you are incredibly surprised that there's nothing there.
Yeah, because it was carved into my chest.
Big scars in your chest that seem to have healed.
Look down actually looks perplexed. He absolutely kind of surprised.
Hmm. So, Keen.
Yep.
In the history of Petovia, would I have known of, say, either like slave branding or like punishment-wise, where names would be marked into flesh and like imbued with magic in that sort of way?
Ooh, in the sense that they would kind of
Like brand somebody with
yeah.
it.
There's definitely, I would say, yeah. So give me a history check.
Right.
This one's not too bad.
22.
I have so many
That's
questions.
literally rolled a 19.
Perfect. Yeah. So definitely, it's not incredibly practiced in Petovia. Around the world, there are definitely nations I'm not gonna lie, who have had some very, very checkered pasts with slavery and doing some pretty terrible things to people. Branding being kind of one of them. However, kind of imbuing it with any type of magical ability, probably you have not seen. Maybe give me also an arcane check.
Sure thing. Oh, damn, it really wants me to know. 25.
You have not come across anything that would kind of, other than potentially what you had seen in like maybe Soliet's diary, where words are kind of appearing when they weren't kind of originally there, if that makes sense. That was kind of the only time that you have seen or read any type of arcane kind of interference or what's the word for it? Like integration into like wording.
Right.
Wait, so had he not seen it any of the times that he was
No,
uh
he has not seen it.
conducting
No.
experiments?
Nope.
What the fuck? I start looking over my body. Are any other scars disappearing? Like I look at like my legs, my arms, like anything that I can.
You start to look over the rest of your body, and it seems like the rest of the scars on your body are indeed still there.
You are right, but you looked rather panicked.
Well, one, I look down. Two,
Damn it.
it was there. Seeing
It's there, but now it's not. Magically appeared based on a condition.
baby.
Well, I have heard of branding words upon skin before, but not usually magically infused. Nor is this type of magic common.
Happened in Hot Spring 2.
Happened in Airspring? Would that be... You saw Kyalda? Oh,
Yes.
nice.
In
So it's related
house.
to the Silmance family? Because it's reacted when you saw Marth. It's reacted when you saw the visage of Marth's father. No?
Yes.
I'll see if I can have a word with Marth about it. See if I can't get a little more out of him as to who Valen was. You still don't remember much from your past, right?
No.
Maybe Valen will be a good starting place.
I had chance to remember, but might be bad.
What do you mean by chance?
Book Marth has.
The Book of Naterna?
Look down, just kind of looks at you like he doesn't know the name of the book.
The book Marth carries around on his hips, used to cast spells?
Yes.
What are you doing with that?
He said bad idea. But can.
The Book of Naterna is incredibly powerful, yes, and can delve within the depths of your mind. It's... well, you've seen what happens when Marth uses it, like with Sir Berdame and various soldiers. It's not always pleasant. And depending on the mind of whom you're delving into, it could even be dangerous to the caster. The condition of your mind, the state within it, it's... well, frankly, it's unknown. We don't know who you used to be. We don't know what's locked behind the fog of your memories. We could delve into your mind and just be overwhelmed with the sheer ferocity of what might be in there. It's... yeah.
Then don't want to hurt friends.
Yes. We would like to help you, however, so if we can't make progress, the idea of taking the risk might be a better option.
Look down, just kind of quietly stands there, thinking.
Alright, it's getting late. You have to get some rest. No, you ought to. I'll be up for quite some time. Well, we love drugs.
We love drugs.
I need some soldier up right now.
As soon as Pivot turns his back and starts to walk, look down, will quickly take out the locket and look at the picture of Valen, and then put it away and follow after.
Beautiful.
Pivot would hear the locket, but not turn.
Head back into the castle. Let's see. Maps. Actually, let's, before then, you and Valrizzi here have been spending... where's our Risto?
Alice is away.
I will say
Alice
that
is back.
Alice is
Oh,
now
fuck.
back. Let's go. You and Val Rizzi have been spending a pretty decent time at the Risto. How many drinks are you feeling? Are you feeling like drinking tonight?
All of them.
Okay. Roll for me. So you kind of you spend a pretty decent while here, but you have been kind of drinking at quite a fast pace. Roll for me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution 14.
You feel pretty good after a couple of drinks, but you do kind of feel a little bit tipsy. And Val Rizzi is kind of just like chatting with various people at the Risto. Kind of just a couple people in the community who he's pretty close with, and he kind of just heads back over to you and sits down, and he's like,
So, you want another go?
Another go?
Another rounds? Yeah.
Yeah.
Another go around. Woo! Okay. 2 more on me.
and he kind of like taps the table, and they bring over a couple more drinks to you, and he kind of takes like a sip, and are you just kind of like drinking it pretty fast?
Down. Straight down. Chug. Gone.
You save some of the liquid for the fish?
She's just gonna stare at him, as she usually does. Fish? No. No. And then try to stare at the bartender, and then like point to Rizzy, and then throw up 2 fingers again.
And Rizzy's like taking like maybe a couple of sips into his, and he's like,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, 2 more.
and they place 2 more drinks on the table.
Alice grabs hers, and it's gone. It's gone.
Give me another Constitution saving throw.
A 7.
Ooh, yeah. So these drinks, you just been. It's not even so much the fact that you've been drinking a lot. It's the fact that you've just been drinking at such a fast pace. And these are tasty drinks on top of it, but they're very sour. So as you kind of like put it down, it's just like it feels like it's just not good in your stomach, and you start to feel a little bit sick. You're starting to get a little bit dizzy as you are kind of feeling the effects of your drinks now. You are drunk.
Alice is gonna stand up, like, to where it would alarm someone, but right next to her. So she's just gonna stand up really quick, and then like put her hands down on the table, and then just stare forward, and not even look at Rizzy, but say, "I gotta pee," and then she'll try to find the bathroom.
You go to find the bathroom, and Val Rizzi he just takes like one more sip of his drink as he has like a couple of drinks now lined up in front of him. And he's like,
and
he like takes one of the drinks and he like pours it into like a bus pan, and just has one more that's next to him.
he's like, yeah, that'll do.
And yeah, as you kind of get to the bathroom, Alice, you're feeling pretty sick.
Alice
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
decides in this bathroom, she wants more drink, and the thing that is stopping her is stomach feeling bad. So Alice will decide to throw up in the bathroom.
Oh god.
Just to keep going.
All right. You throw up and kind of probably clean up a little bit, and you come back out, and Val Rizzi is he kind of pretends not to see you at first, and then catches eye contact, and he's like,
Oh, well, welcome back, Frindle.
Alice just sits and points at his drink.
and he slides his drink over to you, And
Gone.
just down. And he just looks at you and he's like,
Fendel, I can't help but feel like you're never happy. I'm confused. Are you satisfied? Your old man's dead. You said he was a monster. I have to agree with you, but what's the point of it all? Why drown yourself?
Alice wasn't listening that entire time. She was trying to. What's in the drinks? Is there like ice?
There's a very minimal amount of like kind of shaved ice in the drink. Yeah.
She's trying to get. Well, with like shaved ice, it gets stuck at the bottom. She's trying to hit the ice out.
Just trying to scoop out the ice a little bit.
She's just trying to like hit it like over her mouth and like hit the bottom of the glass.
And tap it in.
You, are you gonna be here tomorrow? And the next day?
Alice puts down the glass. And she like looks at him. And says, What? I don't know.
Right. Well, you know what? We'll talk it over tomorrow when you kind of have a different type of head on your shoulders, I guess.
It's the same head.
Yeah, it's just filled up with a little gunk right now.
It's gonna be the same tomorrow.
And he kind of just thinks to himself, like, yeah, it probably will be.
He's like, you know what? Forget about it. You wanna dance?
She side eyes him again. And she says, weren't you the one that said something about Frisky?
We'll leave enough room for the creator. It's okay.
Don't you fucking...
Hello. Oh my god. Alice agrees to dance, but she is leaving space for at least 3 people to stand in between them.
3 creators.
3 creators.
Yeah, 3 creators.
The hands on the hip dance, got it.
And you kind of just like start dancing. And he's just doing his best little groovy dance, which is he probably accumulates a little bit to like the Shepherd Shuffle from Mass Effect, probably in and around just that good.
Hell yeah.
Does he get sturdy?
He gets sturdy. And you start kind of dancing, and things are kind of spinning. It feels pretty good to get up and kind of dance to the music though, instead of kind of sitting down and letting everything fester in your stomach there. And after a while, you start to get a little bit dizzy. And roll for me just an agility saving throw.
Oh. An 11.
An 11. You start to trip, and you kind of fall right as a waiter's kind of passing you, and you place your hand right on the platter, and it falls down, but it catches you just enough to not send you kind of falling down to the ground, but that you slide down against the wall, and you start to kind of pass out.
Beautiful.
And Valrizzi kind of, he waits to kind of make sure that you're actually passed out, and he's like,
all right, hey, man. We'll take the bill. I'll get her out of here.
And he settles up and kind of like hitches you up like up from under the arms and starts gonna like drag you out to the edge here of the restaurant.
Fucking naughty cat fucking pickup type of way.
Brings you out into the lawn, and he's like,
man, I really don't want to carry you back.
And he like sits on the grass and looks up at the moon. And he kind of just like stares and he says,
Tonight of all nights. Please.
and he kind of flips a coin in his hand, lets it rest back in.
Just, make things work out okay.
So
And-
I'm like passed out.
Yeah, you're passed out on the ground here.
I was gonna see if like Alice could like unconsciously just reach around, trying to like if she was in bed, looking for a pillow.
You know, maybe you kind of just after a little bit just come to, and you kind of just like reach around, and all there is grass, and Valrizzi like you like kind of reach towards him. He's like, and he like grabs like a rock and slides it over to you.
I want to throw the rock really bad.
Give me a give me like one more Constitution saving throw.
Please. 16. Can I throw the rock?
Yeah, you kind of come to just long enough to pick up the rock and do like one of those like you place your head on it. It feels as hard as possible, and you throw it right back over to him, and it hits him in the leg.
Good.
And he gets up and he's like, you know what? I'll just go get you some bedding. Just lay it down right here. And he goes off, grabs you some like blankets and pillows, and puts it right on the lawn here and props you up. And you fall asleep. You can take the effects of a long rest. Back at the castle here. Thames, you have been working tirelessly, tinkering and tempering.
Yeah, I would say like once he'd probably collect like the armor of people who had their armor damaged and repair it.
Mm-hmm.
And if he still has like more time, he'd probably start working on I'd say the vault.
I'm gonna say probably. Let me just take a thought here. It's how long have you guys been awake now? When is the last time we took a long rest?
I mean, did we long rest on our way to Reddish?
Yes, that is true. Okay, yeah, that is true. You guys did get the effects of
Did you
long
also
rest, I
repair the
think.
armor?
Yep. So yeah, you kind of start to head over and work on the vault while things are kind of happening elsewhere. You down a level.
We didn't come back with him.
He's made his way back. And the vault was over here. I'm gonna say that you kind of have time to work on the vault before you notice everybody is coming back in to settle in for the night. Let's see. Erase fog, since this is a relatively big project. And we unveil the fog. Would you like to explain your process in working on this?
Sure. So the first thing I do when making the vault's floor and walls is that I go between the dungeon and I go between the little wall to the left there to make sure that by breaking down walls that I don't make half the castle fall apart. And then once I've made sure that that's all set, not gonna break, then I start laying down some of the stone that we got. I use some mortar, make sure the floor is looking nice, probably buff out the floor to make sure it's smooth, and then work on the walls. There's probably nothing in the vault right now. There's probably not even a door on it, but yeah, there's floor and walls.
And a couple odd kind of mishmashed items that you probably have just kind of stored in there for now.
I would say every single thing that Tim's has like stored just in the smithy that he wanted to be in the vault is in the vault. Probably a few things around the castle that are a little too dangerous to be out. Put in there too.
Perfect.
And
Tim
then-
Tam!
Like Beyblades.
Tim Tam is now in the vault.
And
Looks
also,
like Beyblades on the shelf over there on the left.
those are potions.
Oh.
And Thames will put his magnum opus in the vault as well.
It is a certified Thames creation. And
And then he'll make the door tomorrow.
Perfect. You feel pretty exhausted after this kind of long day of traveling, fighting, and then afterwards kind of repairing everything and making an entire new room to the house. And you head back into bed here and get yourself situated. And are you going right to sleep?
I would say he would like take his apron off.
Mm-hmm.
Take off the face shield and then plop down.
And
Tim's is definitely the type that the second he lays down, like within at least 10 seconds, he's out.
yeah. No, I definitely see that. Clear view. All right. And I'm going to open up the map here.
Oh, also very specifically, before he goes to bed, one, he wraps Chaotic's Edge and does not have it on him while he sleeps. Just to clarify.
Let's see. I guess I'll just disable. And then Thames, you fall asleep. And as you kind of as you drift off into slumber, you start to wake up into a dream. Let's see. Here we are. Is that all visible for you? Yes, yes, yes. And yet again, you are kind of kneeling on a large kind of central platform. And at first, there's kind of nothing around you other than the kind of visions that you had seen in your dream beforehand. There's no movement. They're all kind of as still as like a wax museum kind of would be. And after a couple of minutes of silence, you hear a voice kind of just bellow from the darkness that says, "Yes."
I had a feeling this would not be, or that would not be the end of this. How can I help you? Thames will kind of sit down.
How can you help me? I suppose it's more so how I can help you, Thames.
Very well.
I have been watching over you for quite some time. I have been watching over your father for quite some time.
I see. I suppose there is some solace in that our time dedicated to you was not left one-sided.
And yet you sully the craft of blacksmithing.
What do
After
you mean by
this
that?
gift that I gave unto you, a lost boy looking for purpose, crafting with his father, giving him purpose. Why then do you squander your gift? Become a stubborn old man? Give up the craft entirely and find yourself at the bottom of a barrel?
I have have not given up my craft entirely. I craft things all the time. For my group, for myself. Hell, I just crafted a vault.
You craft, but you craft imperfections. As mortals, you like to believe that you are the fulcrum and force behind the sway of your own fate. However, that is not the case. Your stubbornness prohibits you from making great things, Tales. You have incredible potential. However, you sully it.
With what?
Your stubbornness. Your lack of trust in others. These keep you from making great gifts to kind. I ask you, Thames, what is the favorite thing that you have crafted?
Finishing my hammer height with my father.
A great piece of art. Craftsmanship, perhaps even unrivaled in Nickelmanshire. Your father's attention to detail and his kindness of his heart made him one of the greatest blacksmiths I have ever seen. He sits among some of the greats in my hall. Never forget this gift. Never forget this single craft. And always remember that feeling.
Kindness to others is an aspect in crafting.
Yes. However, not forgetting what you make and why you make it.
I make what I make to protect my friends and to see the end of Mechalite.
And as you kind of say this, a little bit more light kind of flares up on this side here. And he kind of just softly replies,
Yes, I have seen so much. Tell me, Thames, why is it that you give your soul unto me?
See to it that no one else in our ragtag group has to. Or worse, someone other.
A noble cause. Well then, what is it that you require of me?
I understand that I am in no bargaining position, given the fact that, well, I live right now due to your assistance. But I would be lying if I said I had not thought about this. Thames has a bit of a smirk on his face whenever he says that. I'll say. I need to be able to build, to craft faster. I cannot be spending the entire day in this castle while they're out dying, because that would defeat my purpose. I need to be able to enchant things. We will eventually go against enemies that cannot be taken down by this, try to reach for his billhook, realize it's not there, and say, well, it's not there right now, but my billhook. There is a potential that what I make will fall into the wrong hands. I need to be able to stop that immediately. I find myself constantly dying to even the slightest of afflictions. I need that to stop. I find at great loss of even steel. I will need supplies. And as you said, I am not creating what my potential has. I will need assistance. I will need visions. I will need guidance to create truly great things. And finally, even though I've asked quite a lot, and I do not expect all of it, I need the ability to purify chaos weapons, artifacts even. They offer currently power, but it is not power that I like using. But sometimes the ends justify the means. If you can help me fix the means, then yes, I truly believe that will be a force to be reckoned with.
And kind of just a brief pause as he doesn't respond to you quite right off the bat. It seems that he kind of thinks things over, and he replies,
Your favorite craft was making height with your father. I have to admit, through all of the years of which I have watched over craftsmanship and helped out mortals like yourself, my favorite craft that I've ever made was a toy sword for a little girl. Little girl who had a terminal illness. She was not to live for very long. However, she wished to be a soldier. Dreamed of it every day, prayed to fourfold day and said, Please, please, my Lord, give unto me the ability to serve my country. I gifted her this sword. Nothing special, but I put love and care into it. And she cherished it for what should have been until the end of her days. However, miraculously, she lived for quite a long time and was able to, yes, join the service of her country. Her situation was a miracle, dire to her life as it was. Your situation with your group is far worse. You do know the odds you're up against, do you not?
I do, unfortunately. Otherwise, chaos would be off the table.
and he kind of just pauses, and it feels like a little bit more light.
Well, as far as Niall goes, you'll be facing her. What do you plan to do when you face her?
Perhaps seal her, perhaps kill her. Ultimately, I want her influence gone.
Yes. Speaking freely of my own volition, I disdain Niall. Her influence on humanity and Nickelmanshire as whole has been toxic. She is more human than God. However, she is not so easy to bleed. Without the use of divine intervention, it seems that you are up against impossible odds.
If we have her backed into a corner, Forfo, then would you kill her?
I would not. Her trial for man to decide her fate has still yet to be done. However, so far she has succeeded with flying colors. Or should I say that humanity has failed in a catastrophic fashion. She will face justice from the gods, but only after her trial by humanity and Nickelmenschen kind comes to an end. And I'm afraid it can have a very dark ending for you and the rest of the world. Now, as far as weapons go, the only thing that can truly deal with Venial is a god weapon. However, they have been outlawed. They are completely sacrilege and completely out of the question. If I see you so much as try to make a god weapon, or imbue something with chaos again,
He he very pointedly says,
I will not hesitate to smite you. I'll throw you into my scrap pile and toss you to the wayside, and that is how you will spend eternity. Am I understood?
Of course.
However, I did not say that there wasn't already a god weapon on Nickelmenschen.
I presume, though, you are not at liberty to say where.
Very good, James. Your humor is as dry as
and he kind of just like starts laughing. He's like,
your humor is as dry as the suns that rain over us. You would put Evolve to shame.
and he kind of stops laughing after a little bit, and he says,
You're right, I cannot be at liberty to tell you exactly where. However, keep your eye out on your adventure to Mechalite. And keep that prince. No, keep that king close to you. As far as your asks, they're not out of the question entirely. You asked for, let's see, the ability to craft faster. I would say yes, I will grant you the ability. The ability to enchant items. Is this, truly what you wish?
I do not merely wish to, I need to.
Yes. I see it in your eyes, determination. The fires that burn inside the blacksmith's heart. Open your mouth, Toriad.
Tims will open his mouth a little.
and kind of just down from the darkness appears a beetle that seems to have a couple of sharp teeth at the end of its mouth, and it places right on your tongue. And he says,
"Don't chew. Swallow it."
Let me roll to see if Thames is just scared of bugs. Real quick. I'm gonna say it's a will. Okay, he'll swallow it. Looking uncomfortable about it, but I think anyone would be. So.
"Oh yeah."
Fair.
You swallow the bug down whole, and he says,
The effects will dissipate in 24 hours. However, you will feel vulnerable until then. Do manage to take care of your body. After this 24-hour period, you should have the ability, even with your poor immune system, to craft magical items. Hold magical items in your hands and use them for yourself. You are, how do you say in Nickelton, magically incapable, I suppose. However, you will be able to make great things for your comrades.
Of course.
As far as fail-safing items, Thames, what is the purpose of a sword?
To cut.
Yes. You will squander its usefulness if you put a failsafe on it. Dull its blade. As such is sacrilege.
I do not seek to dull the weapon itself. If I enchant an item, I wish to be able to end that enchantment.
He kind of just bellows from the darkness.
Are you afraid of the own weapons you make?
For Foden, you saw what happened whenever it came to that damn sword. They took the weapon without even trying. If similar situation happens in my own creation, it's the end of myself or one of my group members. That would be catastrophic.
Yes, I understand this to be true. However, to, so to say, dull the weapon and take away its original purpose, its usefulness is sacrilege to me. You worry not. I will protect you should somebody get a hold of your craft.
That would be appreciated.
Your immune system is weak, Turliat. You have lived for a long time.
Unfortunately.
Well, this is a difficult matter to approach. I can help you. It may be difficult, however. You will need to retrieve your Alexandrite stone for me. I will be able to craft something to return your body to somewhat normal.
And with that, I presume my death imminent.
Death is imminent for all of us, James. However, you will not die right away. You will have time. I assure you this.
Very well, I shall try to find where I can
As
my stone.
As far as purifying chaos, I believe this is the smartest thing you have said up until this point. I think that you... My dear boy, yes. I will give you the ability to purify chaos, to utilize its useful purposes without delving into the darkness. When you were wasting, you called it wasting, I believe. For us, we call it Selix wasting. You were deep in the depths of darkness. I tried to even save you several times. However, the unknown god of chaos, unnamed god of chaos, had a strong grip on you. One which I could not free myself. Do try to keep yourself away from chaos in the future.
More than that, I will see to it that if I can purify it, that it will not exist in my presence.
Very good, Turiat. Thames, it seems we have come to an understanding. It is a pleasure to finally meet you.
And you hear just kind of like a bang, like a massive hammer bang just on metal. It's just a tung, 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 and zoop, you wake up.
I was gonna say one thing that, like, while that happens, is I'll say, if I cannot make weapons with anger and desire for revenge, I will make them with love and strike with anger and revenge.
Yes! And he kind of bangs on like the metal harder. He says, "Music to my ears, Thames! Music to my ears!" And you wake back up inside the castle.
I imagine, like, probably due to the beetle or whatever, I am in rough shape.
So this beetle, it will do exactly what he says, and it will help you out tremendously. However, keeping it inside your immune system, you are going to have effective damage dealt to you, like a step up in effective damage from every single source. So if you have an immunity to something, it'll be resistant. If you have a bane, it is going to kill you instantly. Do not take any damage from a bane.
Let me go fight some snakes real quick.
No, we go wrestle some snakes. You do wake back up, and your face is placed directly on your anvil as you wake up.
Tim's just gonna think. I really am fine with the symbology, but this hurts the fuck out of my neck. And he'll get up and like crack his neck, which I imagine almost sounds like his neck breaking.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Yep. If you want to, I guess the term would be move on from Tim's.
Sure, yeah.
It's taking up a bit of time.
Yeah, no problem. Pivot and look down. So look down as you got back here with Mr. Pivot. Let me grab you guys. Give you a little grab. Where's LD?
He's dead. I killed him.
What would
Oh,
you two like to do as you reach back here to the castle?
I think probably the first thing Pivot would do would be to head to the smithy because Lookdown's got a sword that needs remaking, no?
And a
But
sheath.
I think at this point, Thames would be asleep.
Thames would be asleep at the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Would he be neck on anvil mode?
Um,
Drama.
We kind of got back, like, pretty quick.
Yeah, you
compared
guys
to
got
when we
back
went to last.
kind of right as you were going to bed, so you shouldn't probably be at the anvil just yet. Pivot's gonna like come inside here and see that you're kind of not at your station.
Alright,
Would have been so funny if he's like.
yeah, it would have been terrible. So Pivot's gonna lay the sword on the small anvil over on the corner, so it's out of the way.
Yep.
And then he's just gonna write a quick note and leave it on the desk. It's like, Lookdown needs the sword reforged and the sheath made for it.
Pivot's the realist.
Why do you think he was second in command to Solia, bro?
yeah, honestly, it's great. I love it. And
Being
you,
a note taker, that's why.
yeah.
I leave my armor next to the sword.
Yeah, so it seems Timmons will be asleep, so maybe he'll get on it in the morning. Who named this channel Orphan Gathering? It's accurate, but what the fuck?
I mean, with our newest orphan,
Welcome.
Yay! I'm so included. Yay!
My name is Tim's, and I've been an orphan for 260 years.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Thames.
Ugh,
I mean, I think I'm an orphan. I don't know.
probably are. Who knows?
Still don't know who my parents are, so.
Serviette's like, he may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy.
He wasn't your daddy.
Man, I never asked Serviette, have I? Holy shit.
That if he's your daddy.
No, if I have parents.
Oh. Are you
That's
my
crazy.
papa? Papa?
Well,
Are
I
you
guess
my
now I
daddy,
would be like,
Serviette?
hey, Serviette, do you know my father?
My father.
Father.
I don't think there's anything more to be done tonight unless you wish to speak to me further, Lookdown.
Look down, just kind of thinks is. Unless want to read now.
Oh, you'd like to learn now?
Not tired. So, yes.
Fair enough. Come along then. I'll take you to my room, and we can work there.
And you feel like a kind of squeak at the door here in this direction, and you just see Penelope like peek out, and she's like, "Where are you going?"
I'm going to teach letters. Do you want to join?
Yes. Oh my god, yes. I have been sleeping for so long. I feel like I'm gonna die. And she like runs over.
Sleep is good for you. I sure would love to get to sleep.
Hint, just looks over.
I wear a mask for more reasons than just my face.
Can't see the bags underneath my eyes.
Alright, come along. I'll be
Yeah.
teaching you as well as look down, Penelope.
Let's
Look down.
go.
Stop looking down.
Can't help it.
As you appear into your room here, and this time Thames is like, or sorry, not Thames. Whoa, Tim Tam is very, very still. You can tell that he wants to say something, but he's just like kind of like puckered up in the corner, trying to make himself look small.
Have a seat at the desk, Penelope. Look down, you'll just have to stand for now, I'm afraid.
She runs over and hops at the chair here and gets very eager.
There's something the matter, Tim Tam?
No, young master. I wasn't aware if I should say anything.
Oh, you can speak freely anytime. I don't mind.
It's good to see you.
And he like runs up to you. And he like starts bumping into you.
Oh, master, it's been so long.
It hasn't been that long, Tim Tam. Come on. And he's like kind of patting the side of his rock face.
Why are there flesh treats on the outside of your coat?
What?
And he kind of just like
He
looks
looks
at the
down.
blood that's like all over your outfit.
Oh, we had a couple fights in the city. Nothing too bad.
And there's like kind of just one slap of like flesh that got kind of like caught like in your pant leg. It's like on the back end, and he's like,
Can I have that?
You know what? Why not? Peel it off of his pant leg and give it to Tim Tam, I guess.
you kind of just place it on Tim Tam, and you just hear while nothing is happening to the flesh. It's just sitting there.
Oh my god, a delectable treat! Thank you, young master. I will remember this forever.
Of course, Tim Tam. I will be teaching these two now, so please do our best to be quiet.
Yes, master.
Look down is just staring at Tim Tam, very confused.
All right. Are you quite well, Sans? He looks at the skull on the bed.
And yeah, he's kind of just like rocking back and forth on the bed. It seems he's very happy. He's just like
Yes. Glad to see you enjoying it. All right. Let's get to it. We'll be going over the basics again, just because Look Down is new to it as well. So Penelope, it's going to be a bit more of a review for you, but I would like to see what you've remembered.
Okay.
All right. And we begin.
And yeah, you kind of you go over this session for quite a long time with these two. It seems that Penelope is actually really, really excited to just be able to do something. So she's kind of here studying with you for hours. After a little bit, she kind of hops off the chair. She says,
All right, I'm gonna go play now.
All right. You've done plenty enough for today, so I think you've earned it. Go along.
she like climbs over the bed and like hangs on Tim Tam's lip for a second, and then drops down and runs out of the room.
You may take a seat now and look down if you wish.
I sit down, and yes, I look down every single time he says it.
God damn it!
Keep saying it.
Give him a new name.
Look, Pivot ain't like that. Unfortunately. How much longer do you wish to continue working?
Look down just kind of shrugs because he's like, he has no signs of being tired or like, it's basically like, I don't know, how long do you want to do this for?
How long has it been since we left the city?
You've been kind of at this for a couple of hours. It probably took you a little bit to get back to the castle. I'm gonna say that you probably have a couple more hours to kind of work with regardless before you can go to Betty bye-bye.
Yeah. Alright, well, we'll just work until we're tired. It'll... Generally, the longer you study for, the worse at studying you get, but in these early sessions, I think it's alright. As long as you're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach.
Thank you.
Of course. Alright, back to the letters.
And you review it with him for quite a long time, and look down. Let's see, give me a flat 20 roll.
Let me at least be able to say the alphabet.
I thought you were gonna say
okay.
something else.
So
the internet's tainted me.
So I rolled the die and it hit other dice. Do you want me to re-roll, or like it like hit dice on the way down? Do you want me to re-roll it, or am I going with it?
No, just go for it. It's fine.
Re-roll it, or
no, yeah,
leave it?
keep the roll.
Okay, it's a 12.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, it doesn't seem like Pivot was kind of BSing you. The longer you kind of try to absorb more and more information, even though you are completely dedicated to it, the less and less it kind of has for like a diminishing return. But you do feel like you've picked up quite a lot of information. Sorry, go ahead.
And eventually, Pivot just sees Lookdown's eyes glaze over as he's trying. Like, his face is like got the intent stare of like, I'm trying to learn this, but his eyes are just completely fucking.
However, you do, after quite a bit of time, pick up the basic kind of alphabetical language of Nickeltone, and you can kind of, you've seen the same symbols as you had seen on your chest as Valen, as well as a couple of other situations when you were like in Belmont's Tavern, and you saw like a couple of these same like P's and O's, and you're like, oh, okay, like I know what these are supposed to do now. So yeah, you kind of retain the basis of just kind of what the alphabet is and how it is kind of working.
And just
the
for
sounded out level.
yeah, let's go. Just for my knowledge, how is Penelope doing with it?
Penelope's doing really, really well. Actually, let me, for the second session here, I'll just have her.
Because it was primarily a review because I was teaching both of them at the same time, so I wanted to see how well she retained the knowledge.
She retained the knowledge really well. As far as kind of when you started to move on to other things, it seemed like she got a little bit of it, but she's probably going to need a review.
All right. Cool. All right. Good enough time. I think that's enough for tonight to look down.
I look down. So looked at what actually when he looks down, he just kind of sits there for a minute. For like probably like a longer time. I mean, it's looked down, so luckily you're kind of used to the just kind of dead air or him
Silences.
just kind of sitting. Yeah. Before he finally looks up and says, "Pivot,
Yes.
help," and he tugs at the chain around his neck.
Right. 1 second. He actually goes over to his bedside dresser. That little nightstand there. And he pulls out a keyring
Hey.
and returns. Figured you'd want it off eventually. Just a moment. He kind of has to like reach up to get out his neck.
Look down would kneel down.
After a little fiddling, because the lock's probably fucking ancient and very rusty at this point.
Yeah.
He gets it unlocked and slowly pulls it off, taking the chain along with it and setting it on the desk.
Look down, feels his neck immediately, and like takes in like his first like a huge breath for the first time having his, you know, proverbial collar off, I guess you could say. Thank you.
That's not one you thank me for. But, should have been done a long time ago.
Look down, looks at like right in your eyes. Is fine. Done now.
You can't really see Pippa's expression through his mask. See his eyes close. Right. The damage to your neck is quite significant. The scarring, I should say. It was tight for a long time. I could probably mix something together for you alchemically to try and reduce the swelling, but it likely won't look pretty for a very long time.
Feel free. Don't mind.
I'm glad.
And then look down, will stand up, walk to the door, and then as he goes to leave, doesn't turn around, but just says, "You good. Always been." And then leaves.
Oh, dear.
He fully fucking breaks down crying the second look down's out of earshot.
Oh, God. Yeah. Tim Tam is just kind of like watching in sadness as like Sans kind of like flops down to the ground and like comes over to you to try to like comfort you.
That was a nat 1 on that, we'll say. But
Oh God, just like ugly crying too.
yeah, it's bad.
Oof.
And after a while, you feel the effects of this drug kind of wear off. You had like this kind of conflicting feeling of like being super awake while being exhausted and bawling your eyes out. And we all know as you bawl your eyes out for a really long time, it tires the shit out of you. And you kind of go to sit at the edge of your bed, you feel exhausted.
It was to a very fitful sleep.
Perfect. And you can take your long rest. And oh my god, he got big! And you change the token over.
Hell yeah.
Look down. You head upstairs, and you
Do
head.
I hear
Yes, sir?
Thames's
Loud
Thames
snoring.
in his... Oh, okay, he's still sleeping.
Yeah, he is still kind of he's passed out, but yeah, he's definitely at the anvil now.
He looks over at the door on his way to his room and just says, "Tomorrow, then," and then continues to his room.
And you head into your room, look down, and you do feel actually just almost surprised at how tired you really actually feel. Normally, when the day comes to an end, you more so reluctantly are just getting sleep. It's not like an enjoyable thing for you. It's more of like a means to an end. You're like, yeah, I need to get some sleep and wake up and just kind of pass the time. But for this time, you kind of, for the first time ever, feel free. You feel light, and you feel happy. And as you kind of head to bed and sit down, it doesn't take too long for you to just kind of pass right out. And as you pass out, you...
Is it the sit down, fall over on your side transition?
yeah. You feel something overcome you, which you've never felt before. I'm gonna hide the player screen. And... 1 second as this loads.
It's okay, take your time. I waited long enough for this.
Let's see. Okay. You wake up. And you are in a completely different place from where you fell asleep. You kind of, in a surprise, just kind of look around to see a long kind of hallway leading to a staircase with a bunch of stained glass windows on each side, just kind of leading downward. There's a door over here, and there is a staircase down this side. And in a panic, because this has never happened to you before, you've never kind of just, other than maybe losing control completely and then coming to, you've never kind of just shown up somewhere where you didn't know where you were before. And as you kind of take a step or two into the room, you see at the end of the hall here, over closer to the door, Serviad Daniels.
I wanted to just make a joke that I resist the urge to jump through the stained glass, but I slowly walk towards him.
And
Serviad?
You call out to Serviad, and it seems that he is kind of in a trance. He stares kind of directly at the wall in front of him, and as you say his name, he comes to and looks over to you and says, "Champ, where are we?
I don't know."
And he kind of just looks at the the long hallway here and places his hand on the rock wall, and he just you can see that his brow furrows a little bit, and he's just like I know I've been here before. I can feel it. But why? I don't know. Have you
What?
ever been here? Do you recognize this place?
No.
And he goes to he runs up to the window and he looks out, and it's just pure darkness. He can't see a single thing out into, it seems just a very, very dark night. And he quickly like whips over to you, and he says, "Well, wherever we are, I feel like we should find a way out. I don't know why, I just feel uncomfortable here."
Where are my friends?
That I'm not sure of. They don't seem to be around. We could go searching for them if you like.
Yes. I don't know why we're here.
I'm just as confused as you are, champ. Yeah, let's just find your friends.
And he kind of like shakes his head, and he lets you lead.
Alrighty. I walk to the door. It's the first thing I see.
Yep. You walk over to this door, and you just going to open it?
Yes.
Yeah, you open the door up, and it opens up actually just fine. Swings right to the wayside. Serviette is kind of close behind here. And as you kind of walk in here, you see a like a sigil, and just a couple of what look like letters, but nothing that you've ever seen before, carved into a stone slab. And in front of this stone slab is a small little drop-off that has like a flat little bowl in it that seems like it's for placing something.
And read this.
And Serviette kind of moves next to you here. And he looks directly at the lettering here. And he says,
Present the royal family.
and he kind of just like looks around.
I don't know what that is supposed to entail.
Royal family?
Yeah,
Present the royal family. And he kind of just, ooh, I'm bringing the floor with me. He gets nice and close to it and kind of just inspects it.
Do I see anything else around it? Or is it just this plain thing?
It's just the lettering, and it seems like there's just a small little drop off, like you would like with like a drop off for like keys.
Look down, just kind of continues down the hallway. Thinking, well, Marth said he was a prince.
And you continue heading down the hallway here, and you reach a set of stairs. And you kind of just start walking down them here. As you get to the bottom of the stairs, you see a couple of soldiers.
Who? Who are you?
You say to the soldiers.
Yeah.
You get no response.
I look to the rest of the room.
You look to the rest of the room, and as you kind of head down, Serviad reaches the bottom stair, and this soldier turns around. He says, "Hoy, Serviad! It's your turn for a shift. You know what to do, right?" And Serviad kind of just like looks around, and he's like, because nobody has ever kind of talked to him like this before, and he says, are you talking to me? Yes, I'm talking to you. Your shift started about, and he kind of like looks around. He's like, I think about 10 minutes ago. Just, mind the shadows. Don't get too close to it. And, don't forget later tonight, you're guarding the vault, okay? Don't be late. Yeah, okay. And he kind of like gets in place to where the other guy was, and he says, if it gets too ornery, just pull the switch. That should keep it back. If you have any problems, alert some of the guards upstairs. Don't hesitate. We'll put some pain into that thing. Yeah, thank you. And he looks over to you, look down, as these guys start to walk upstairs. This guy here, he kind of walks up to you, look down, and walks right through you.
Uh-huh. Alright, this is cool, I'm not gonna lie.
And
I am now Serviad. Call me Serviad.
yeah, you kind of walk into the room here, and you look, and as you kind of get closer, you see shadows creeping out from under a large cage. It seems that something very ghastly is being housed here, and a very, very dark, almost chaos-like eminence is just flowing from it. And no matter how close you kind of get, the closer and closer you get, it seems like there's an impenetrable darkness keeping you from seeing what is truly inside the cage. And as you step just a little bit further, you wake up. Back inside the castle in your room. And look down. You have just experienced a dream for the first time in your life.
I wake up in a panic.
Yeah, you most certainly kind of just wake up in a panic, looking around, and it seems that you're back in your room. Nothing's kind of changed. Nothing's been tampered with in your room. And you feel very refreshed in your panic. And Serviad appears to you, and he says,
I don't know what happened, but I felt something. I felt my own flesh, my own bones. It was incredible. Champ, I felt like somebody. Are you okay?
and he kind of just like shakes your like shoulders. He's like just very excitedly looking in your eyes.
I feel weird. I've never experienced that before.
Neither have I. I had such an incredible sense of nostalgia. We have to experience it again.
And he just like very excitedly like smiles at you, and he's like, "Are you? Can we do it again?"
I can try. I try to fall asleep again.
You go to lay back down, but you are very much so just after the shock of
I'm
waking up in a different. Yeah, you're tossing and turning. You're all over the place. You can't fall back asleep at all.
sorry. Can try again tonight.
That sounds great. Thank you so much. You don't know how much this means to me. I feel like I finally have something.
Maybe we can learn more.
And he just kind of walks up to this wall over here and tries to place his hand on it. And he just kind of gets nothing. He just shakes his head and he says, "Nothing. I'm so confused. I thought for sure back then I felt something."
What did you feel?
I felt alive. I felt like I must have known the soldiers that were down in that room there. Back there, that was me.
Look down, just kind of sits in silence.
And he kind of just like walks up to you. He says, "You saw them talk to me, right? No one's ever talked to me other than you."
Yes. It was weird having them walk through me.
Yeah, that was kind of odd. Well, I'm sorry. I'm so elated. I'll leave you. We'll talk again
wait,
later.
Were they your friends?
It seems so, yeah. They were very cordial with me.
Hopefully, we'll see them again.
Yes. Please.
And he kind of just he starts to fade, as you can just see him like fist pumping a little bit, and he just fades into oblivion.
Look down, kind of rubs his face, and then stands up and goes to leave his door.
Perfect. And that is where we are going to leave off tonight's episode. Thank you so much for joining, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate it. Fun little episode that we had tonight to finish things off in Reddish. Yeah, I appreciate you guys all just kind of hanging out. If you are looking to support the endeavor here, this tabletop RPG, me and my artists work very, very hard on it. Kind of every single week. You can support us directly through Patreon. It's !Patreon in the chat. We are currently $200 in. We just reached one of our goals. So our next goal is our $300 goal, in which we are going to shave our head for the first time in our entire life. All this beautiful long locks of hair shall be gone. Yeah, next Friday, look forward to a very, very exciting episode. I actually over-prepped for this episode. There was a lot more here than I had kind of initially thought, but I am really, really happy with how things ended up coming out, and I hope you guys are too. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your evening. Check out the sponsors, Starforge PC, and have yourself a wonderful, wonderful night. Stay beautiful, my friends.